The top of the social and financial pyramid is often found in a world where wealth and influence are intertwined in complex patterns. My parents are people whose names are often mentioned in the circles of the business elite. Their ownership of several multi-billion-dollar companies makes them key figures in the business world. In this world, connections play a key role, and one common practice is to marry off their children or have them marry the children of other business owners in order to strengthen business ties. It's not just an ordinary wedding, it's a strategic move important for the future of the business and social status. There was a time when I was just a child and my parents, wrapped up in business concerns, decided to take a vacation. Such an unexpected event forced us to enlist the help of a nanny. Invited into this role was the daughter of the family, a girl who was known to us through mutual acquaintances. At the time of her arrival at our home, she was about 17 years old, on the verge of transition from adolescence to adulthood. It was during the summer, a time when the heat was enveloping our city and the days seemed endless. Vacation plans were set, and our parents assured us that their absence would not be long. But on the second day of the nanny's stay at our house, something began to change. The girl, being in her 17s, decided to invite her boyfriend over. She asked me to stay in her room, even if I heard a noise or something like that. This gave me a strange feeling, like something was wrong. I assumed that they were going to spend time together as adults, so I stayed in my room reading a book. Despite my assumptions that they were just going to spend time alone together, the situation suddenly took an unexpected turn. A strange feeling arose inside me, as if something was wrong. As I sat in my room reading a book, my curiosity began to grow by the minute. I began to hear whispering and laughter from the living room, and then noise and shouting. It was strange and alarming. Something about the atmosphere made me feel uneasy. Still, my curiosity overpowered my fear, and I decided to leave the room to see what was going on downstairs. As I descended the stairs, my heart beat faster than ever. Fear and uncertainty overwhelmed me, but I kept moving forward, trying to suppress my feelings. As soon as I looked out from around the corner, what I saw truly shocked me. There in the living room, I saw a scene one will never forget. My babysitter was standing in the center of the room, knife in hand, and her boyfriend was lying on the floor, clutching his hand tightly with the knife sticking out of it. Blood was pouring on the floor and the girl's face was contorted with rage and madness. I froze in place, unable to move. My mind refused to accept what was happening before my eyes. Fear paralyzed me and I couldn't move or even repeat words. All I could do was stare at this horrifying situation, feeling the fear take over my body and completely. Even though my reality was disintegrating into small shards, I tried to find the strength to cope with this horrifying situation. Thousands of thoughts were swirling in my head, but none of them could explain what was happening in front of my eyes. I was captivated by fear and terror, unable to even think rationally. Suddenly, however, a wave of determination pierced my thoughts. I realized that I had to do something urgently to stop this nightmare. My inaction could cost a person's life. I realized that I couldn't just stand by and watch. I had to act. Slowly but determinedly, I began to approach the babysitter and her boyfriend. My mind was filled with determination, despite the frantic pounding of my heart and the trembling in my hands. I was aware that I was risking my life, but I knew that bold decisions had to be made at this moment. As I stepped closer, I heard a low whisper in my ears. "Don't come any closer." An inner voice was telling me, but I ignored it. My goal was clear: to stop this madness and save the man who was lying on the floor and who probably needed my help. With each step toward the babysitter and her boyfriend, I could feel the tension rising. My resolve never weakened, but fear continued to grip my heart. I prayed that my move was the right one and that my action would help end this nightmare. When I got close enough to see their faces, my heart almost stopped. That's when I saw his face. I don't want to tell anyone about his face. You know why? Because I'm so afraid of yawning. Out of fear, I ran to the room on that floor and locked the door from the inside. But I didn't let fear control me. I took my cell phone out of my pocket and dialed the emergency number. The screaming was like music in my ears when I heard the operator's voice on the other end of the line. I quickly explained the situation and gave the address. At that moment, I almost felt like a hero saving the day. The minutes seemed to stretch on forever as I waited for help to arrive. When the police arrived, they quickly arrested the assailant and medical personnel began treating the victim. I was overcome with mixed feelings of relief and surprise. Had I really been able to stop this nightmare? After the situation was resolved, I was able to truly realize what had happened. I was thankful that no one was seriously hurt, but at the same time I had many questions and doubts. How could this have happened in my own home, under my nose? My parents came home and were shocked by what they saw. We discussed what had happened, and I told them what I had done. They were proud, but also concerned about what had happened. This experience changed me forever. I learned that in any situation you must act, even if fear is paralyzing. My decision to help led to a positive outcome, and I'm proud of that. I now realize the importance of being alert and ready to act in critical situations. You never know when your actions could save someone's life. This experience has shown me that sometimes the darkest situations can lead to the brightest actions.